Hey everybody, welcome. We're doing something different right now. It's the first time we've done something like this. We're going to compare the Walking Dead TV series to the events of the Walking Dead comics. That does mean we're going to be talking spoilers, a lot of spoilers for the show and the comics, everything up to date, which means episode 509, what happened or what's happening and what's going on, and the comics are up to issue, I think, 137 now. Anything that's happened so far is fair game for me to talk about. You've been warned. Tonight, we lost Tyrese. We said goodbye. He got bit on the arm by a little walker while he was doing his moral compass thing, and he was not able to fight it off long enough until they cut his arm off, and ultimately the fever got him, and I'm guessing they had to stick a knife in his head. But first thing I want to talk about comparing the show to the comics is how the deaths are switched. If you're familiar with the comics, you know this already, but Herschel got his head cut off in the show by the governor, but in the comic books, Tyrese was Rick's right-hand man instead of Daryl, because Daryl does not exist in the comics, and Tyrese was the one who got his head cut off by the governor, and the show is no stranger to doing this to characters, switching their deaths, switching the time they die and the method with they die. One big thing missing, Rick's hand got cut off by the governor too. Maybe I thought for a second we were going to see that with Tyrese from the arm, but we saw it with Merle. Not the case here. Wiltshire Estates, we saw that today. It was in South Carolina. They were on their way up to Alexandria. Well, Alexandria's safe zone is where they're going to end up. I believe they're on the way to D.C., though. Their Wiltshire Estates in the comics was about 20 miles outside of Atlanta. I'm pretty sure it was still in Georgia. It's issues 8 and 9, which was a very long time ago. The show is about equal to issues about 70 now, somewhere near there. But they're on 137 now, and they get really good. I hope they keep following them. They've been following them more and more closely. In the Wiltshire Estates, in the comic books, Tyrese does not die. He plays kind of a hero-type role. He tries to save Donna, who gets bit. He puts a little bit of his personal stuff on the side, goes to save her. He's unable to. Also, Bobby Marsh got bit while looking at a little doghouse. But yeah, very different scenario. Much earlier. A lot of people thought Wiltshire Estates already happened in the show, but it didn't, obviously. We also had the Tyrese and Carol little love fling thing at Wiltshire Estates. That wasn't going to happen. Daryl and Carol are kind of a thing, or maybe not. I don't know. But it's fun to watch, and they're definitely kind of a thing. But regardless of that, we were going to see that. Tyrese, Chad Coleman, the actor who plays Tyrese, talked about that in an interview. We'll have a video of that for you and a full interview with him. You should check that out on Comicbook.com when you get a chance. But it does feel like the show is course-correcting towards the comics. We knew this was going to happen this season. They were going to be tighter. There was going to be more resemblance to the comics in the show. But it feels like Carol might be replacing Andrea. Andrea was kind of this dumb... Everyone hated her character on the show, and people were mad about what they did to her character, because in the comics, she's this badass, like, sniper chick who can kick ass and be Rick can depend on her. There was none of that in the show, but it seems like Carol might be doing that in the show, and in the comics, Carol actually committed suicide by Walker. So, excited to see where the show goes. Really love the comic books. If you don't read them, I suggest you jump on. It's a great comic. It's a great read. Other than that, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.